Welcome back to another episode of Sustainably Speaking with me, your host, Joe Mosca. This month, I'm catching up with Orange County Power Authority Vice Chair Kathleen Treseder. Our Vice Chair is a distinguished ecologist and professor at the University of California, Irvine, where she leads groundbreaking research on the connection between fungi, ecosystems, and global change. Vice Chair Treseder also serves as a member of the Irvine City Council, where she has been active in creating the city's climate action plan.
Hi,
how are you?
good, how are you doing?
Good. It's good to see you.
So nice to see you too, and thank you so much for being on the show today.
Oh, of course, yeah. Welcome to City Hall, and
Well, thank you.
there's some places to walk if you'd like to take a
Yeah,
walk.
let's do that. So, in addition to all of your duties as a city council member and as a board member on the board of directors for Orange County Power Authority, you're also a professor, a scientist, a professor at UCI, University of California, Irvine. Tell me a little bit about your research, what that means for climate.
Well, I study climate change. I have for 30 years now. And in particular, I study how climate change affects endangered ecosystems. And that includes the coastal sage scrub that we have around here. You know, it's susceptible to fires and warming and drought. And I want to know how that affects the ecosystems, and then what does that mean for us as a society?
What has the science told us so far about how climate is impacting, well, all of human existence and all of the species on our planet?
We know it's happening right now, and it's pretty bad. We can do something about it.
Right.
And so one of the things that we've noticed is that here in Southern California, we're getting more and more heat waves, more fires. By the end of the century, we might expect 5 weeks heat events in a row. So we want to stop that. And the only way that we can really do that is to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions.
Right. Well, good that we're having this conversation today, because of all the things that you can do, one of them is a community choice aggregation.
Yes.
Which you're a founding member of Orange County Power Authority. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that's actually why I ran for office, is because I was looking at my climate research, and what we know from the best science we have is that we must be carbon neutral by 2030. That is coming up really fast. And so that means we need to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions as much as humanly possible.
Now that you're inside with the agency started, we're 1 year under our belt, how is it making a difference?
Well, it's really empowering, first of all, to see that we can actually make a difference. The community advocated for this.
Right.
It's online. It's doing so well its first year. It is doing exactly what we needed it to do, which is reduce those greenhouse gas emissions.
Right. So tell me what you tell residents and business owners when they ask you about community energy.
Well, what I tell them is it is the fastest way to fighting climate change in Orange County. So in order to fight climate change, we need to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions. There's no way around that. And the way to do that quickly is to adopt a community choice energy program. You can switch to 100% renewable energy for your whole community almost overnight.
You know, as a UCI professor and somebody who is with the students on a regular basis, what are you hearing and seeing and feeling?
Yeah, it's actually a technical term now. It's called climate anxiety. It's a psychological condition, and it affects a lot of people. It just means that people are hearing news about climate. A lot of it is bad, and once you start hearing that over and over, you start to kind of give up and say, like, well, it's such a big problem, there's really not much I can do. This problem is fixable. We change the atmosphere one way, we can change it back, and taking action is actually the best fix for climate anxiety, because then you feel empowered and you don't feel so hopeless.
Participating with Orange County Power Authority is something, you know, a small step, but it's something that you can do to really help the environment.
Yeah.
To address climate change. And it's a small thing that you can do. We could have more students engaged because this is something that they could really seize upon as helping the climate.
Oh, absolutely. And in fact, they were a big part of the push for establishing this agency. Dozens and dozens of students came to city halls to ask for this. We're buying the renewable energy. We're making sure it all works. It's the easiest thing in the world then for a customer to just let their homes be enrolled in community choice energy, and then everything else is taken care of.
as you've gone through a lot of the climate discussions at City Hall, what's some of the feedback you're getting from residents?
They seem very enthusiastic. Poll after poll in Irvine demonstrates that the environment is the top 1 or 2 issues for our city. We're a very educated city, we're well informed about climate, and so people rightly are concerned about our climate trajectory. And so they really support any sort of environmental initiatives that we've been doing.
So what's one thing that surprised you about the discussion so far?
Well, I'm surprised by a lot of things, but the main one that I've been surprised by since I came into office is just how supportive our developers are. And so we have some large developers in the city, and I always thought they'd be fighting me on these things, like building electrification. But they actually have really embraced it and said that's the direction they're going. They care about the environment too. It makes a lot of sense, and so they would voluntarily do it anyway.
It's something that we're seeing with our business customers as well, and they see that working with us can help them achieve their 100% clean energy. Businesses in Irvine and throughout the entire territory have been very much excited about working with Orange County Power Authority, and we are very excited to be working with them as well.
And so they're seeing a lot of the advantages too, so they can benefit potentially from building retrofits, and also they save money. You know, a 2% savings for a very large company can add up to tens of thousands of dollars of savings a month. I have also seen a lot of support from businesses for this program. One of the things I'm so excited about right now is our power content label coming out. It's much anticipated. Could you tell us a bit about it?
Very excited about the power content label, and it says what we've purchased on behalf of our customers. And it shows that we purchased all of the renewable energy and exceeded a lot of our targets. For instance, our basic choice is at 60% renewable energy, actually more than that. And our smart choice with a little bit of carbon emissions, and the 100% is at 100% with 0 carbon emissions. The whole portfolio as a whole is 95.6% renewable energy.
That is amazing.
I know. And then when you compare that to the local utility, if Orange County Power Authority didn't exist, customers would only have access to the local utility, and their power content label shows they're at 33% renewable energy.
Yeah, much better. I mean, in my world with grades, 95.6% is an A+, 30 whatever, F.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
So overnight, I mean, it's just amazing to me. Overnight, we have switched these 4 big cities to almost entirely renewable energy. I mean, you think of the dent that puts into climate change. So how are the customers going to see the power content label? It seems like this is really important.
So they can go to our website at www.ocpower.org. It's also being mailed to every customer. So because we're very proud of our power content label, and we want people to be able to see it.
Yeah, I mean, one of our values is transparency. Like, that's something that customers can get with us they might not get with somebody else, and that's part of sharing it. Now, I know that a lot of businesses these days are adopting sustainability goals or 0 carbon emission goals. How can OCPA help those businesses?
Businesses are really important. Not only are they the lifeline of our communities, they are, making things happen, but they're also some of the larger consumers of electricity and have a large carbon footprint. And so working with our business customers to help them become cleaner and greener is a very important mission of ours. And we found that a lot of the businesses in our territory have been really responsive and have actually been very proactive in wanting to have us help them out, because a lot of them well, how do we become more sustainable? So we have the technical ability in-house to help them. Not only with their sustainable goals in terms of clean energy, but also their desire to have a more resilient electrical system, so they're basically off of the grid. We're offering them lots of different opportunities and partnerships, and we're listening. Frankly, we're listening to our business customers. How can we help you?
Yeah, definitely in Irvine, we have a lot of big businesses. And I have to say, when we were initially building our coalition of community groups, a lot of our really large businesses in Irvine joined us and sent letters to the city council asking for this program because they want it. Including hospitals. Hospitals really care about making sure they have good, solid, predictable energy And this is one way that they can do that. We can help them build microgrids where they're self-contained.
Well, thank you so much for being with us today on this show and sharing all of your thoughts and your experience. It's just been an amazing time, and I've learned so much. So thank you.
Well, likewise. I'm always happy to talk about OCPA. I can talk about it for hours, and there's always more to learn.
All right. Well, let's go back to City Hall.
We are so grateful to Vice Chair Kathleen Treseder for her knowledge and leadership in serving on the OCPA board. I hope you enjoyed getting to know her a little bit better as we work to make Orange County a greener, more resilient community. We want to hear from you too. Send us your questions, ideas, and suggestions for future episodes to sustainably.speaking@ocpower.org. By joining together, we can help reduce the impact of fossil fuels on our climate and improve the health of our environment. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to be notified when we release our next video. Thank you for joining us, and remember, every small action counts in making our world more sustainable.